Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So before I go into today's technical analysis of the S&P and the stocks that move the markets, I want to hit on a brief touch note that the Fed chairman of New York, or I should say the Fed president, John Williams, said today that I thought was very interesting. That gives us an indication of potentially how the markets may be moving in the next coming weeks or even months. So the President John Williams came out today on with Market Watch, and he stated that he believes that the worst of the coronavirus is behind us, and that he's actually already seeing recovery signs of an economic improvement. Now, I don't know how he sees this. I don't know exactly why he sees this, but this is what he stated today to the press. So he said that although that the economy is far from a full recovery, he said that he believes that the extreme of the economic distress is behind us, and that he's seeing some early recovery in the unemployment. He said the unemployment rate, not the numbers, but the rate, and he says he's also seeing some improvement in the permits for building. So basically, real estate building, new commercial building, things like that. Listen, I don't have a law degree. I don't have a degree in finance. So, who am I to argue with the president of a treasury? With that said, I couldn't further disagree with him. Unless he knows something about the coronavirus and its makeup, and unless he can literally predict whether we're going to ever have another coronavirus outbreak, I don't know how you possibly could say that you think that the worst economic data is behind us. I mean, we have literally, I read an article today that stated that over half of the working force Americans. So our unemployment rate is 16%, but the percentage of the older working half Americans, over half are laid off right now. I don't know how the hell you can say that the worst is behind us. It's far from behind us. What we have right now is we have a federal government that has literally said they are going to support the entire country, every city, every state, everybody. They're supporting everybody until the companies themselves will start to hire, and people can then be more confident in the economy and start spending money and let the markets take over again. And is the Fed right? Well, they had to do something. They didn't want to repeat what occurred in 2008, where they responded very slowly, and we went into this extremely 16, 17 months just deep dive, nosedive in the stock market. And we were damn near literally on a weekend. We were literally just 1 weekend away from, if they didn't approve a bill, emergency bill, that you were going to be able to go to your ATM the next day, your bank, and there was not going to be any money. So they didn't want to get to that point. So what they've done this time around is that they were too proactive. They were just pretty much, they've done extremely large amounts of monetary policy. They've done a lot of purchasing back of government bonds, and they've just pretty much have put a lot of liquidation and a lot of money into the markets right now, and it's responding as such. So consumer spending is down. Consumer spending is about 65% of the total economy. It's down significantly. We still have 40 million people that are literally being supported by the federal government. And the last time I checked, that's called socialism. And in addition to that, you have businesses and institutions that I was reading online a few weeks back, that literally people who were making over $1 million got a stimulus check. How the hell did that happen? So we're in a really, really weird time right now, because no one really feels panic. No one, the morale of the country, I think as a whole, doesn't feel low. But we certainly are in a very awkward, weird no man's land right now, to where we don't know about this COVID. We don't know if it's going to mutate. We don't know if they're going to pass the second stimulus package. It's just so weird. But in terms of how this correlates to the markets, when I do these daily technical analysis videos, just understand that everything is predicated around the federal government right now. The typical usual technical analysis has kind of gone out the window for a big portion, because a lot of it just hasn't worked as of now, just because the federal government has put a cheat button. They've put the cheat code into the game. In addition to that, companies have come out with ridiculously bad earnings. The last earnings quarter, Facebook came out, said the earnings was really bad, and they said that the earnings was going to be bad for the second quarter. Stock trading is all about the forward earnings. And what happened the next day? The stock shot up like 5 or 10%. with the really negative outlook. So, right now earnings just doesn't seem to matter. Unemployment doesn't seem to matter. We had this ridiculously huge run up down from the 217 lows, 218 lows, and literally the entire way, every single Thursday, and unemployment numbers got released, it was just flat out more green days. So the stock market doesn't give a damn right now in relation to the economy. I've been trading for over 10 years, and I've never seen more of a blatant disconnect and just not caring about the market not responding to what's happening right now with the unemployment rate and people not working. This is just purely Fed money. So, with that out of the way, today's action was pretty much Green Day. We had another percent, almost damn near 1.5%, 1.29%. Off the SPY, right? So the market was good. Some of the big movers for the market was Tesla. Tesla was a really big one. Tesla was pretty much bouncing on this $1,000 resistance level over and over and over again, and had been for the past, I don't know what, 12 days, 13, 14 days. And so I've been watching it, and part of me, just because I have an emotional connection to Tesla, wanted to buy the stock to support the $1,000 breakout. But the technical analysis trader in me said that this is the worst possible thing to do. So I did not purchase Tesla. I am going to wait for a pullback. If that occurs 10, 15, 2 days, a month, 2 months, whenever the hell that is, I will not be purchasing this breakout. Now, could this go to $1,300, $1,400? Absolutely. Will I be looking for maybe a pullback to 1,000? Yeah, sure, why not? But I'm certainly don't want to buy into a resistance level. That's one of the worst things you guys can do. But if you did buy it, you were well rewarded. So Tesla was pretty much, it had a 7% breakout today. And this was definitely the market leader for the SPY. It was just significant. It broke through a major resistance. It's now at all-time highs. And one of two things is going to happen. When you see something like this occur, this is either the very top, and you'll see maybe a doji candle or something tomorrow, and then some bad news will come out, and then you'll get caught in that, and it'll roll off somewhere over here. Or you just bought the beginning of a breakout. It may come back and test and go up, or knowing Tesla, it may just shoot up another 10% tomorrow, because Tesla trades like a penny stock. So that was one of the major market movers. I was looking at Boeing today as well. I was expecting to get some kind of momentum movement from yesterday's phenomenal data where I made a few $1,000s off of it, and we didn't get that action. I was actually watching this in the aftermarkets yesterday, and I saw that little mini dump that occurred, and so I went ahead and sold out when I saw that, because I just thought that there was, I thought that something was going on. There were some games being played with the price action. I just didn't like it. So there was a dump, that the slight pullback that occurred here in after hours, and I went ahead and liquidated my position. But if you take a look here, it pulled back. It's still kind of above the trend line. It's hugging that 5-minute, and I do anticipate this at some point. I'd say in the next, I don't know, few days, a week or so, having another gap up. Overall, I like this stock. I think Boeing is a phenomenal American stock. Excuse me. They are the largest plane manufacturer in the country. They were the number one in the world. They're now number two because they haven't been able to get their 737 MAX jet off the ground. But the last I heard, as of yesterday, the flight went well. They're in the process of still recertifying today and tomorrow. And so this is a really, really good play for a long-term play. But just keep in mind that this is a super volatile stock. If you put money into this stock, it may, you may see significant rewards next week, or it may be 6 months, or it may be a year. Who knows? But I do foresee this stock at some point here in the next year or so getting up to the 240, 250, 260 range. So not a bad buy at all. So we didn't get any movement on that today. And that's okay. Those things happen. We can't, we don't predict the markets. We just go with the flow with what they give us. So the overall direction of the market today was a green day, right? So I think I told you guys, that a few days ago, I told you that I was bearish with the market. My sentiment changes. I don't want to say on a day-to-day basis, but it changes with the overall direction of the trend that I see. And, that is liable to change if I see that there's a fake out, or that there's a, gotcha, and then it reverses, then goes the opposite course, which the market likes to do a lot. So taking a look here, that 300 support is still in play. And I say that because the markets have had a tendency over the past few weeks almost consistently to have really green days, Monday through Tuesday, and then Wednesday through Friday has been a fade. And then the Thursday through Fridays have been dump days, and then Mondays, or it's just over the weekend, have been the low days, and then it starts all over again. And so what I'm anticipating is tomorrow's Tuesday. I believe tomorrow's Tuesday. Oh, no. God, I'm so all over the place. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Sorry, guys. My days are blending in. So tomorrow's Wednesday. Who knows? Could be another green day. I do think we're going to have a fade off. If we turn around and we test this 300 support again in the next, hell, I'll say the next week or so, that's just going to further confirm my bias to the downside. In a regular stock environment, regular trading environment, I do think that we would see a pullback down to here, down to the 50% support level, at least a test before continuing up. But because the federal government is just flat out, purchasing everything right now, they moved now to the ETFs that they're just continuing to buy all the dips. So if they take their finger off the stimulus a little bit here over the next week or two, or if they stop the repos that they're doing, that they do nightly, we may see a significant pullback. If we don't, then it's just going to continue to go higher. And this may be the lowest level that we're going to see for probably until the elections, until we determine who's going to be our next president. So, how do you play this? Well, you obviously have to stay diligent. You have to stay very flexible to go in both directions. From a trend analysis standpoint, if you're looking at this on a 15-minute scale, it just finally now crossed above the 200 moving average. If I were going to play this, I would hope to probably get a play off the 200 bounce and then buy for the bounce up. But as you can tell, it actually came back, retested, and now it's up again. So, tomorrow could be another day to where it'll get up here to the 312. I mean, who knows? We could easily get a 1.5% of day tomorrow and then have a fade off Thursday or Friday. Or it could just be green Wednesday, Thursday, and then dump off Friday. So who really knows? But from an entry level standpoint, I would still be hoping to try to get somewhere here off this support level. So where am I? Where am I currently in my positions? Well, right now I'm currently just in Apple. I'm currently in some Facebook, and I also have a number of other growth stocks such as Switch and a few other stocks that I'm looking at as well. My dark horse play is Boeing, and I think that is going to be probably one of the biggest momentum plays in the next coming months once everything starts to kind of calm down. And once Boeing starts to get momentum, I think everyone's going to jump on that bandwagon, and that stock's going to probably shoot up 50 to maybe even, God who knows, 50, 60%. So I am going to kind of keep the eyes peeled tomorrow. I'm going to be looking for the price action in the morning to see if they dump it. Typically when market makers dump the stocks first thing in the morning, that usually means that it's going to be a green day. Typically when they pop it in the morning, that usually means it's going to be a red day. Don't ask me why it works that way. I've been watching this for years. That's what they do. All of the professional traders that I follow, they also know that as well. It's just kind of a unspoken or understood thing that no one tells you, that they kind of make you have to learn yourself. That's pretty much it, guys. So I don't have too much for today's video. It's just kind of a regular trading day, but I did want to touch on the stocks that were moving the markets. I did also want to kind of give you guys my sentiment in terms of what I'm looking for tomorrow. I'm just going to basically play it based on the price action and play it based on the support levels. I guess I would also be remiss if I didn't give you guys the bonus in the stock that I'm dying to get in right now, which is Apple. I do have a couple of shares of Apple, not actually anything. So really, you might as well say I don't have any of it. But I'm waiting on some type of pullback. When the hell is it going to come? Who knows? But looking at this stock here. It has, wait a second, that's not Apple. So, that looks a little low. Let's try that again. There we go. That's right, the stock that just refuses to pull back. So, looking at this stock here, is it overbought? Yeah, it's getting there. But if you take a look, Apple stays overbought. It was overbought here, a little pullback, and this whole time it's just up, and up. So, typical technical analysis says you don't buy stocks when they're overbought. You buy them when they're oversold. But Apple rarely oversells. And down here, when it was oversold, it was because of an entire economy collapse. Back here, where are we at? Where we at? There we go. Back here, when this happened, it was because China said that we're going to literally, put tariffs on Apple and the tech companies. So those are two major things that made Apple have significant pullbacks. And then there was more tariff talk over here. So two tariff talks and a world economic viral collapse. That's pretty much what pulls Apple down. So do you buy this here? Technical analysis says no, but it's Apple. So, if you want to buy a couple of shares or, 5 or 10% of your stock, what the hell? This thing could go to $390, $400. Who knows? I mean, Apple trades pretty much like the SPY does. It's damn near an index at this point by itself, just because it's so large, and a lot of the hedge funds and a lot of the indexes have Apple as big shares. As big shares in their indexes and in their ETF. So, that's pretty much it. I will be looking to one day, purchase Apple somewhere around the 328 level if we get a pullback. One of the cool things about the pullbacks on Apple is you typically know that it's never related to Apple itself. It's always just external factors. And so that's actually a really good thing, because you know that when it does start to pull back, that it's going to be a safe play to rebound and then continue on. So thank you guys for watching this. If you were one of the very unfortunate people who actually watched this beginning to end, thank you, and I'm sorry you had to endure this. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content and it was beneficial for you. If you did, please make sure that you like the video. Also make sure that you subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the channel. This is a financial education channel, but I also do technical analysis on a daily basis of the stock market. So if you guys are unsure on how to trade the market, if you're trying to get an idea of the overall sentiment, or if you wanted to stay up to date with what's going on with the Fed, or just overall external factors that may move the market up or down, subscribe to the channel, check me out, and I'll catch you later. Take care.